Hey everyone, this is Alease Michelle, your online marketing and branding coach, and I am here to talk to you a little bit about systems and routines and being overwhelmed. All right, so as you guys are coming in, if you do not mind, go ahead and hit the share button. Sharing is caring. You guys know I love that saying. And as you all are coming in too, if you can put your name in the comment section so that I can give you a shout out. Right now, I do not have my phone. Okay, it is charging up. And hey, Miss Blank, how you doing? Or Mr. Blank, I think that's what it is. It's charging up, so I can't really see. Mike can't see all your comments. So definitely make sure you put your name in the comment section so I can give you a shout out. I really appreciate that. So today, guys, I want to talk to you really briefly about routines, systems, and being totally overwhelmed. Okay. I clearly know where you're coming from. Most of the topics that I share anyway are topics and experiences that I have. So I'm not talking to you about something that I don't even know anything about or I haven't experienced. I clearly have done this, right? And one of the things that I've learned about myself when I started my business or start any type of project is that I am easily overwhelmed when I don't have a plan, that I don't have a step by step or some kind of system that I follow. I'm not really a big spontaneous kind of person. If I am doing something spontaneous, is that I found some plan and that I'm following it spontaneously going through the plan. Okay, does that make sense? But what I wanted to share with you today are the three things that I do to help me stay with a system or stay on a tight, not tight routine, but have some type of routine about my day and my life so that I'm not overwhelmed. As you guys know that I am a full-time entrepreneur, and a lot of times the day can get away from you when you're just chilling at home, just working at home. So I definitely had to put a plan in action so that I would stick to it. Just like, if I was going to someone's 9 to 5, I would have some kind of schedule. I'd have some type of to-do list, things that I would have to do on a daily and weekly basis for that 9 to 5 job. Why did I not have it for myself? So I had to set that routine up for myself also, okay? So I see that a couple more of you guys are joining in. Again, guys, don't forget to put your name in the comment section and let me know that you're here with me so I can give you a shout out. And as you're also coming in, go ahead and hit the share button and share this out. I really appreciate that. You guys know sharing is caring. All right. So when I started my business, I probably was a little bit all over the place because I really wasn't sure on what I should do, what I shouldn't do, what I should be working on, what should I just stop and drop and stop and drop. Did I just ram? Did I just make a rhyme there? Stop and drop. I'm a little silly today. But when I started, I was like all over the place. I did not have a clue on exactly what I was doing. So a lot of times I got really frustrated with, how am I supposed to spend my day? And this was when I was working full time and running my business part time. So I definitely needed some kind of structure around what I was doing. If not, I was just spinning my wheels. And if you know about spinning your wheels and being overwhelmed, a lot of times you can be doing something and it's not productive or it's not a money producing activity. And that was one of my time sucks. I would do a lot of things that were not money producing activities, but I just like doing them, like creating graphics, my own graphics, right? That was a time suck and it was not a money producing activity. Other times was watching videos, YouTube videos, and maybe it was a training, but really did I need to know some of that stuff right then and there? No. So sometimes that was a money time stuff too. So I didn't really figure out a true system until I got some training. And I realized that a lot of the top gurus, and I have been trained by some top people, Ali Brown, I've been trained by Micah Hyatt, Pat Flynn, Amy Porterfield, and they all had a system for being more organized and not so overwhelmed. So I took what I learned from them and I made it my own. I made it more like me, more that fit me, because I'm really not really a good follower. I'm more of a let me see what you're doing and how do I tweak it to make it my own. So I'm going to share with you the three things that I do. And again, you can take some of this and, run with it. You can, tweak it and make it your own. Okay. So let's get right into it. I'm going to share with you again the three types of routines that I put in my daily life so that I am not overwhelmed, that I stay focused on the task. Okay. So number one, I think the table is just shaking like crazy right now. The number one thing that I do, I always like to say the number one thing. The one thing that I do is that I have a notebook. And I have tried all kinds of notebooks, okay? This is just a regular spiral blank notebook, like blank pages. It's like a sketchbook. I've tried all kinds of calendars. I've tried, calendars that you can add pages to, take away pages. I mean, like I've done them all. I've done cheap calendars that fit into my purse. And I realized that calendars don't give me enough space. And I'm really a person who likes to jot down ideas on paper and sometimes sketch. I mean, typically you can see that, like I have mind maps, I have sticky notes inside. So I like to have a little bit more flexibility. And I realized that a 3-ring notebook was, well, this is not a 3-ring, but a notebook was the best way for me. And that's just to document my thoughts. I do date them. And so I really sort of treat this like a journal. I do implement a little bit of bullet journaling. I can't even say the word altogether. Bullet journaling. Okay, y'all get me, right? Bullet and then journal with ink on it. I do implement a little of that into my book, but not a whole lot. It's like a cult following around the whole bullet journaling kind of concept. I'm not one of those kind of followers, but I do use some of their techniques and strategies. Again, you remember I told you that I love to take little parts of what other people are doing and apply to me that works best. And one of the things that I love about bullet journaling is that they number their pages. And they number the pages at the bottom, and then they create a table of contents for those pages. So that when you want to reference something that you want to remember in the book, you can just go to your table of contents and look for the page number that you actually wrote that. Because I don't know about you. I come up with ideas and then I think about it and say, oh, I wrote it in this notebook. But then it takes me another 5 or 10 minutes to flip through the pages to find the content, especially when you write in the same color pen, okay? Because I can't remember the date. But having a table of contents and number the pages of my notebook has really made it more efficient for me to find the information for myself. And it doesn't allow me to worry about, okay, am I going to be able to find this? Because, sometimes I was bending the edges to say, okay, I'm going to come back to this, and then don't come back to it for months later. So numbering the pages, putting a table of contents, having a notebook. I've even really realized that I work better in a blank notebook, not a notebook with lines in it, because that's the artist part of me who likes to sketch things out. Lines, again, sort of like restricts me. So get a notebook. If you don't have some kind of notebook, get a notebook. Some of you might say, well, I have my phone. I take notes on my phone. And again, that works for you, great. But to me, there's something about putting pen to paper. It's a way of saying, I'm committing to this. This is the action of doing something moves me forward. But, I guess when you're typing it into your phone too, or on your computer, that is an action too. So if writing it in your computer or taking notes in your computer works for you, then that will be considered your notebook, okay? So the second thing that I do is I create a schedule for myself, okay? Just like when I worked a 9 to 5, a lot of times people they gave me a schedule of what I was teaching for the quarter, what I was doing, what class I was teaching, my 8 o'clock class, what was I teaching my 1 o'clock class, and, what was I teaching on 6 o'clock, and what days I was teaching those Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. So they gave me a schedule, and I was like, okay, again, your 9 to 5 did this. You have to do this for yourself. So I sat down and I created a schedule for myself. Now, I don't have that around to show you guys, but literally I could write it on the board behind me. Let me see, do I have a dry erase? Let's get a black one, okay? But I would block off my time into chunks of days, okay? So if you can see that, maybe I will put my schedule from 8 to 12. I will put in a lunch break from 12 to 1. Then I would do a 1 to 4, and then I would do a 4 to 6, okay? So those are about like 8-hour or 4-hour blocks. Is that right? 9, 10, 11, 12, yeah, 4-hour blocks that I will work in, because that tends to work for me the best. I work in 4-hour blocks, and then I give myself a break, or I go and do something. I run errands or something like that. So once I've decided on my blocks, I do your typical, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I know you guys probably can't see the rest of that. And then what I would do is think about what I do on a regular basis, okay? So a lot of times I work out in the morning. My yoga class might be here. My aqua fit class might be here. And I will put the time. This is at 9 o'clock. This is at 10 o'clock. Okay, so I will write those things in. So I know pretty much my 8 to 12 block is taken up by my workout. Okay, going to the gym, going to eat breakfast, doing some errands, those kind of things. So I really physically don't start doing work that relates to my business until 1 o'clock. And then what I do is I take days like these and I create themes. Okay, so Mondays are blog. And I know what that means. On Mondays, it's anything that relates to my blog. If it's updating my blog, if it's creating graphics for my blog, if it's writing for my blog, if it's scheduling blog posts, those kind of things, all relate to my blog. Also, Monday includes my email list. So on Mondays, I send out my emails, I schedule those, and a lot of times it's just sending links to the blog post to let people know that I have a new post up, okay? Hey, Sandra, how you doing, girl? So that's what I do. That's just themed, okay? So Tuesdays tend to be more like client days. This is when I do client work, and I take client calls. Okay, so 1 to 4 and 4 to 6 is when I do client work and take client calls. So Tuesdays are really strictly just client work, okay? And then Wednesday is I guess my content producing days. This is when I do like my podcast. This is when I might edit my videos. So that's my content creation day that has to do with content that probably will go on my blog some kind of way, okay? And it also might be creating my graphics for my promotions. So again, these are all theme days. I do give myself a day of not doing anything, and that is on Fridays. Fridays are like errands, hair day, grocery shopping, all of this. So this is like my free day on Fridays. Thursdays, again, I skipped over Thursdays. Thursdays are client work and client calls. Okay, so that's what my Thursdays are. Saturdays are just up in the air. I do take maybe a few client calls, maybe that on Saturdays. That might be some coaching time, some trainings that I might do live, that type of stuff. But typically, I spend most of my work week here working on my business Monday through Thursday. Now, some of you might not have that same freedom to do that because you work full time, but definitely I would say take from this, like theme out your days that you're going to work on something, okay? It doesn't have to be in super detail, but just note that if it's about blogging, it's about blogging. If it's about email, it's about email. So that even if you finish it earlier, like sometimes I finish a lot of this within 4 hours, way before 4 hours. Sometimes it only takes me maybe an hour or two. Or maybe client work that I have to do only takes me about 2 or 3 hours, right? But it at least gives me this sense of completion. I know what I need to be working on during those days so that I don't get distracted. I'm not just floundering around saying, oh, let me do a little bit of this and let me do a little bit of this. No, I really think about my day and say, no, today is all about blogging, okay? Or today is all about client work. If you get all your client work done, then you can work on something else, okay? So this really helps me blocking out my time and blocking it out in 4 hour chunks. You can do yours in 2 hours, 3 hours. But again, this really, really helps me visualize what I have to do. This is, I write this out and then I go into my computer and create a chart like this, and I post this in my bathroom, right? You guys have probably heard that I do. I post a lot of stuff on my bathroom mirror, but that's where I know I'm going to see it early in the morning, and I automatically know exactly what I am going to do for that day, okay? Hey, Sandra. I, I know you're good, girl. I know you're good. Thank you for joining me, okay? So that's my schedule. The third thing, which is sort of what I just talked about, is time blocks. Okay. Find out like what is your good time of day to work in. So I sort of should have shared that first. My best time of day that I work in is between the 1 and 4 time. Okay. That's why my bulk of my work is during the 1 and 4 time. The 8 to 12, I'm just really getting my brain ready. I'm just really trying to, take in things, just get my brain juices ready to go early in the morning. And so I don't do much until about 1 o'clock. I don't take phone calls definitely until 1 o'clock because I'm still not awake. So that old saying that the early bird catches the worm, that's not me, and I don't believe that's true anyway. But I just know what works best for me. So with you, you want to decide what time frames work best for you. 1 to 4 is mine. If I work within this 4 to 6, I can see myself slowing down. But by 6 o'clock, I'm pretty much done for the day, and whatever I'm doing on the computer, I'm just chilling, right? I'm just goofing off. I'm watching a little bit of videos. I might be reading. I might decide to cook something to eat. I might be just surfing the internet and just looking about what's going on, looking at what movies I should watch later on that night or TV shows that are coming out. So that's how I, create a system for myself. And that's how I eliminate a lot of the overwhelm that I have in my life. I set my own schedules. I create a plan for myself. Now, when you start to get further along in your business and you start getting the help, like, some of the coaches out there have been doing this for a very long time. And one of the things that I learned about my email that made email marketing a lot faster for me is that I have templates. And that was provided to me from some of my coaches. And now that I've been doing it for so long, I have templates and checklists too to let this process go by a lot faster. So when you get help like that from people, that really helps you get a lot clearer and know exactly what you need to be doing every single day. All right. So guys, with that said, as I mentioned yesterday, my calendar is open for October. I am setting aside about 5 spots for those of you who are interested in sitting down with me for a free Let's Do It strategy session. It's 30 minutes that you and I will sit down and powwow out and come up with some strategies to help build your brand and build your business. So if you're interested in that, go to aleasemichelle.com/let's do this and apply for a free strategy session with me. What's going to happen is I'm going to, after you fill out the application, right, which is really quick, I think it's only like 4 or 5 questions, which is telling me, what type of business you're in, what you're struggling with. Once you fill that out and I get it, I look over it, I see if I can help you, because if I can't help you, I let you know. And I give you resources on or people that you definitely need to talk to. Then I will, if I know that you and I can work together and I got something for you, then I will send you a link to my calendar and you can schedule your 30-minute session with me. Okay. So again, if you're interested in it, go ahead and check that out. Hey, Angela, thank you for joining me. I think that's right, Angela. Yep. Thank you for joining me. So again, guys, if you have any questions, if you're struggling with getting yourself together, getting your ish together, and you just need someone to help you get more focus and bring clarity on what you should be doing in your business, then definitely apply for that free Let's Do This strategy session. Okay, 30 minutes, sit down with me. That's powwow. Go to aleasemichelle.com/let's do this so you can apply for one of those 4 spots. All right. All right. All right, guys. So thank you so much for joining me, and I'll be talking to you later. Peace out.